From the end of the 13th century, armour evolved from being primarily mail to almost complete harnesses of plate, as armourers continued to respond to threats posed by better weaponry. This knight of the late 14th century has an armour of the latest and best kind, comprised largely of pieces of iron plate. It was still important to wear a layer of padding underneath the armour, and our knight is wearing a close-fitting arming doublet. This garment not only helps to make the rigid plate armour more comfortable to wear, but the laces also act as the attachment point for several pieces of the harness. As before, the knight begins to arm himself from the bottom up, and when complete, his armour provides several layers of defence, overlapping from the top down. Protection for the legs is provided by a number of articulated plates, comprising the cuisse for the upper leg, the pollen for the knee, and the greave for the shin. The plates are riveted together so that they form a single articulated piece. The pollen has an extension on the outside to protect the side of the knee. The leg harness is held in place by buckled leather straps around the calf, knee, and thigh, and is prevented from slipping downwards by pointing it to the underside of the arming doublet. Protection for the upper body is provided by a short-sleeved male haubagin, belted at the waist to take some of the weight off the shoulders. A rigid breastplate is fastened over the haubagin, again held in place by buckled leather straps. The V-shaped bar is a stop rib designed to deflect thrusts from skidding off the breastplate and into the wearer's throat. The arms are protected by another articulated harness of 3 main sections, comprising of a hinged lower cannon for the forearm, the cutter for the elbow, and the upper cannon for the upper arm. The arm defence is attached by points to the arming doublet underneath the male sleeves and held in place by buckled straps. Although the shoulders are protected by the sleeves of the haubagin, some knights preferred the additional protection of a pair of spolders. These are made up of a number of small iron plates which are articulated by riveting them to leather straps. The spolders are secured by points passing through the rings of the haubagin and strapped under the arm to hold them in place. On his head, the knight wears a padded arming cap and then dons his helmet. In this case, a bassinet with attached male neck protection known as an aventail. This bassinet has a visor which can be lowered to protect the face, or raised to allow the knight to see and breathe more easily. The visor is attached to the skull of the helmet by a pair of removable pins, so that if desired, it could be taken off altogether. By this time, separate gauntlets had evolved to protect the hands. They were of hourglass form, with flared cuffs to give the wearer full movement of the wrist. The level of protection afforded by this armour against slashing, crushing, and piercing blows is very good, so that the shield was becoming obsolete. Some knights preferred to rely upon their armour alone, and to discard the shield altogether, and use their free hand to carry larger weapons when fighting on foot, such as this hand-and-a-half sword.